Hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, if you want to go ahead and there's a little button at the bottom and it says Q&A. If you have any questions, go ahead and put your questions into the Q&A. That way we can go ahead and answer them through there. And then the chat is open as well. However, it's not support. So if you have any
we'll
other
try
questions,
and answer all the questions.
go into your account and then click support for support questions.
Hello, Xavier.
I'm gonna wait a little bit because we got started like a minute or two late. Anyone wants to chit chat, go ahead and put it in the chat. Anyone wants to put in a question, we're gonna answer those as we go along. And Demir's gonna stop me and we'll go from there. Hello, hello, hello. I wore my blue Snappic shirt today. Although Julian Demir could care less. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get a soft start. My name is Ryan Salinas. I am with Urban Events. I'm so glad to meet everyone at PDX that just happened in Las Vegas. We had such a good time there. And let's go ahead and get started. If I know how to push a button. There we go. So I have the Super Boothers podcast. It is the longest running photo booth podcast in the world that I can say that now. We've done 162 episodes. That is 4,994 minutes, 83 hours of photo booth content. And all this stuff is all still available. So if you would like to listen, it would take you 3.5 days to listen to everything start to finish. There's a lot of great stuff in there, and mostly everything that I talk about is Snappic related, because I have given my firstborn to Snappic just because it saves my life that much. Yes, this is being recorded and this will be available on YouTube later. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go over a couple of Snappic features that just came out, things that we don't know how to use yet, things that are going to happen, all those great things. We also have a couple of features on Snappic that I think go underutilized. So all these things are already available to you. We're just not using Snappic to its fullest potential. So let's go ahead and get started with AI experiences. Hopefully everyone got to play with it a little bit, where you can go ahead and create a whole bunch of different fantasy photos or magic photos or whatever you would like to call it. This is a great way to, I necessarily wouldn't do this for weddings, but I think that in certain corporate applications, I think that it's great. There is a whole bunch of options available to everyone. I think I heard that there is, 18 just got added. I don't know what the final number on that one was. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop in here to my other screen so everyone can see this. And I'm gonna show everyone the current AI that is available. Start this off with it. Oops, I actually clicked the wrong thing. I don't want to do that. Click the AI testing and then go into here. And then we're going to look at all the AI filters that are available. So face swap is going to be your number one go-to whenever you want something super specific. Face swap is, whenever we first unveiled AI, I posted a couple of photos in the Facebook group. One was of Glinda the Good Witch, and then the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba, if you're a Broadway fan. And what we did was we took these standard photos and uploaded that into the system. And then whenever we do the photos on the photo booth on the Snappic app, everyone is available to switch their face into the positioning that's already there. All of the other options, like the holiday options, Day of the Dead, these are all the generative options. So these are the ones where we're going to let Snappic do all the things for us. Here, 90s is such a fantastic option for those 90s parties. We have a 90s party coming up next week, and I'm so excited to use this. It is seriously such a game changer. We did another event for a hotel that opened in 1909. So that kind of borders on this Victorian era, 1920s era. So we were able to do AI generative photos for everyone there. So much fun. All of these are actually, I believe the professions are new. So if you go ahead and click professional life and click occupations, all of these are these newer options that are available. Business, race car driver, firefighter, police officer, chef, all these things are really, really great. No, AI does not go into 360, and I think it's just only photos for now. I think if we did an AI in a 360, that would be a little bit, that'd be a little bit difficult. But yes, there's all sorts of fun stuff that everyone can use. I encourage everyone just to use this and just to try it and see what happens. Yes, at the moment, AI is only one person right now. The way how it works in the system is you will take a photo, it gets sent to the cloud, it updates or it creates the photo and then sends it back down to the guest. And also, if you're doing a sharing station, it'll pop up on the sharing station as well. At the moment, you cannot create your own AI effects. It's only ones that are pre-populated into the system for now. That's how that one goes. Let me go back to my other screen here. Whoops. There we go. So these are all the professions that I would consider if photo boothing doesn't work out. These are all the old ones. So the newer ones are, I believe, a little bit more. Correct me if I'm wrong, Julio, but I think the new ones take into your like body positioning as a factor in how it creates the image. Yes, AI images can be printed. So everything works the same. Whenever you're selecting your AI template, you're selecting, do you want it a square? Do you want it, portrait? Do you want a landscape? All that stuff still stays the same. Once it is created, you can print that from the photo booth. So on here, one of the things that I talked about at PBX is the National Gallery. All the National Gallery photos are all royalty free and are in public domain. So all those things can be used. For example, this photo of George Washington is from the National Gallery, and we did a face swap with that one. That's AI. I encourage everyone to use it and see what it does for you, play with it, use it on kids, use it on older people, and kind of see what happens from there. There is going to be a lot of different implications with AI, and it's not for every particular event. One of the issues that we had that I've already experienced is there is a running option. Try to find out where it is. I think it was under, I thought it was under professions. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a new section. So it's under sports. So you have runner male, runner female. And whenever we did the, we did a Ramco Houston Chevron Marathon. And with that, whenever we took photos of people, it did distort their bodies a little bit. There was an interesting instance where it made people a lot thinner. So, we were lucky and, photographed a couple of people and they're like, oh my God, it looks so thin, the Ozempic is Ozempicing. And it was great. And, everyone loved it. But it may not be for everyone. And there is a potential for someone to get offended. So if you are even teetering on that, I wouldn't even do it. I think it's best for small social parties where, everyone is having a lot of fun and, drinking and, hey, let's, make a funny picture together. So I think those are probably the best options for that. So we're going to move on to the multiple selection on sharing station. This is not yet available. However, it is on the way where you would be able to select multiple images and videos from the sharing station and be able to um, send out photos with one text message or one email instead of doing it multiple times. So that is a nice long time feature coming. And already available now is the local sharing station. This one I got to use last weekend, which was such a huge lifesaver. It works with AirDrop running in the background, so it needs to be based off of proximity from the devices. I think the max is about 30 feet, which I think in this last event that we did, that's kind of where we were at. So from there, you're able to go ahead and do multiple devices. Multiple photo booths running can all go into one sharing station so long as they're nearby, and they will download the photos pretty instantly. No internet is required, which is such a huge help. The sync photo booths with nearby sharing stations without needing an internet connection. You do need a working internet connection to share it to the guests. So even though it downloads, you can still text it out. That one device still does need to have internet for it to get sent out. Guests can quickly enter their details, and you can move on to the next guest pretty easily. We tried it with video, and it was lightning fast. So you're not waiting for it to render on the device, upload to the cloud, download onto the other device. It's all done locally. So that was super important and incredibly beneficial. Also, the cool thing is the deletion. So whenever you delete it, you can delete it from this device, or you can delete it from all the devices and all the sharing stations around. So that can be pretty helpful, especially if you are using like, let's say you're doing like a school or something, and a kid does something inappropriate, you could delete it quickly and delete it everywhere. So to access this, you're going to press the exit button 3 times on the top left-hand corner. You're going to type in your passcode 1111 because that's everyone's passcode. And then you're going to click sharing station and then move it along to the event that you're running. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see all of the things that have synced, and then all of the events running whatever photo booth event you're currently running on. Let me go look in these questions real quick. The AI character feature, yes, is only cloud-based for now. On one podcast episode, you told a story where you used the user's Wi-Fi to run and share pics instead of having to buy or use your own Wi-Fi. Do you remember that job? I don't. There's a lot of them. There is a charge for your sharing station, just for the license, but you're not paying per photo or anything like that to upload it. Next, we're going to go over AI segmentation. AI segmentation is super fun whenever you're using 360 videos. If anyone went to the Snappic booth and did the 360 in the center, you will see the effects and the emojis that were kind of happening around there. So I'm going to show that in a second. So all this they're all custom effects. So the way how this works is you're uploading a separate file into your event and using AI segmentation to separate the background from the subject. So this is a layer that's going in between the two. I'm going to play it one more time so everyone can kind of see it. This effect is fantastic for corporate. Corporate loves a logo on everything. So if you can slap a logo on it, all the better. So all of these effects you will create individually on your own and then upload to the Snappic software for your event. So some things like this with, either a black and white background and then a color subject. Here, there's a little comic cartoon effect. All those things are all available as presets now. A lot of fun. Next is auto resume standby. So if you need to take a break, or if there is an idle hour in between, you can set a custom message that will appear on the photo booth screen. So what you'll do to access this is you'll go to the app experience section, and then you'll click edit from app experience. And then you'll go over to standby screen. Now what I do is I have a whole bunch of these already pre-populated, and we're gonna go into this in a second, but there is a way for you to create event templates to where you don't have to type this in every single time. But you can add a few messages, and then I always allow custom message from device in case something happens and you just want to be able to type in there real quick, just something on the fly, and then go from there. So I always click allow custom message from device. So you'll see all these things have been added. Record on a break, back in 10 minutes. If you have an idle hour, it's great to, hey, the photo booth will resume at, or what have you. And then you'll click enter standby. And then whenever you do that, it'll have a timer to whenever you set your event start time. So that's super fun and incredibly helpful. I actually think the next class that we do is going to be AI segmentation effects, that kind of thing. So you'll go onto the app, you'll hit start photo booth, and then triple click, type in your password, 1111. And then you also need to select the admin section, because this is a little hidden feature that just kind of popped up recently. And then the auto resume, and then click the set. Type in your time, and then enter standby mode, and then you'll be good to go. Nice little feature. Next is going to be offline AI background removal, which this one came in handy last week whenever you don't have Wi-Fi and you don't need to, use any AI credits. So AI credits are all a thing of the past. I will say this, it is most definitely best if you have really, really, really good lighting. Whenever you're separating a background from a subject, you really need to make sure that your subject is lit really well. That way the system can recognize, what it needs to take out. So you're gonna go to BG removal type and then click offline AI. And then you'll update your image backgrounds and your animated backgrounds just the same, none of that changes. And then from here, it will actually do a real-time green screen removal. I guess we can't say green screen anymore. I guess it has to be background removal now. So now the guests will be able to see what their background is. And if you have any sort of video, or if there is like some sort of interactive feature, the guests will be able to see that in real time. So if you want to do like the Leaning Tower of Pisa and everyone does that little thing, they'll be able to kind of pinpoint where that is and where that will be on the final photo. Next is QR sharing. This is kind of one of my favorite things lately. QR sharing can be used, it's like algebra. It works the same way forwards as it does backwards. I use this particular feature every day of my life. And I really appreciate how we're able to get guests their photos rather quickly. One instance that I didn't put in here, but I forgot to mention last time whenever I did this at PBX, is there are plenty of times where you will be at an event and there is a situation where someone will send you either a text message or an email or something, and you'll get notification, hey, I didn't get my photo, what do I do? So I'm gonna show kind of everyone how you are able to access that. So I'm just going to go into a sample event that we just did. I'm actually going to click out of this. And go into this event. And from here, what I'm going to do is you're going to make sure that your facial recognition is on. So on your microsite, you're going to click face match. actually, this can work either way. But what you'll do is you'll click the QR interaction link. You can send someone this link and say, they said, hey, I can't find my photo. You can send them that link and then say, hey, type in your phone number, upload your photo, and then it'll go through the gallery and pull all the photos that they're in. So this is a fantastic little backend way that you can use to get someone their photos rather than, hey, send me a picture, and then you manually go through and scroll and find, where these people are. So I always love that little hack. I think it's great for, people to get their photos that for some reason didn't, or what have you, or they didn't type in their information. So yes, so I'm just seeing one of these questions below. Is it the same as green screen? Yes, it is the same as green screen. However, you're not using a physical green screen background, and it's also not using a credit like an AI removal would. However, I will say that if your lighting isn't great, go ahead and still use the AI and just go ahead and use a credit because it's going to be a little bit more accurate. You do really need to have your lighting worked out really well for the transparency to really work out. So next, what I'm going to do is go over a QR code process with the 360. And I'm going to do we did a little video real quick for us to be able to explain to our clients, hey, this is what this particular thing looks like. This is how the experience will work. This is kind of one of those things that stemmed from COVID and being able to, how do we get people their photos without touching anything? So what we do here is we have a little video playing on, we were using a roamer here, and it's just playing the same video over and over and over again. And then at the bottom right-hand corner, there's that QR interaction link where the guest will type in their phone number or their email. And then if they have multiple selections, this is where you can select, what it is they're doing. And then they're gonna go up to the unit and scan it on the camera. And then this particular one, we have an Orca. So the Orca is connected via Bluetooth to the phone. And then whenever you start the session, it'll start the spin. So then from there, the guest will have their photo or video edited, and then they'll get a text message whenever it's ready. So this is a great way to use QR codes whenever you have a super long line, whenever you are trying to get through people super quick, if there's multiple groups of people, and from that, whenever they create that QR code, they're able to use that code the entire night, so they don't have to keep giving you their phone number over and over and over again. And that face match hack work I'm assuming you mean retroactively. For example, if the face match wasn't on at the start of the event, doesn't mean you can utilize it later. Yes, you can utilize it later. So what we do for headshots is we scan people into the system where we're taking their photo, typing their phone number, attaching facial recognition from their phone number to their photo, and then we're able to take 1 million photos, edit them later, upload them, and then they'll get all their photos retroactively. So yes, again, like algebra, it works forward as it does backwards. So great little hack. And also an update that I just found out about that no one at Snappic told me is if you are using the QR code feature. So for example, if you take let's say you're doing, let's say you did a 360 video and it pops out with this little QR code after, and the guest scans it, and that video, let's say that video is not uploaded yet because your device hasn't uploaded it, it's going to ask them for a text message now. Previously, it would say, hey, come back to this page, your photo will be here whenever it's ready. With this, it asks for a text message, and then it'll text them whenever it's ready. So they can still use that QR code now. I really enjoy how that works. The next feature is age gate, which if you are working with any liquor client, this is a great little add-on for them, where before the session takes place, it'll ask them what their age is. Type in their age, and then they're allowed to take the photo, and then have it sent to them. What if there are multiple guests who want to use the QR code to send the finished video to themselves? They can scan it as many times as they want. Or if you're referring to the face feature, they would just need to scan their own faces in, and then it'll work on a 360 video as well. So what I like to do is whenever you are, running, let's say you've got a 360 over here, a roaming over here, a ring light over here, try and make sure that all those things are connected to one event. And then all of the photos will aggregate into the gallery. And then all of those faces that you're collecting and putting in there, they'll be able to find all of the activations and all the experiences that they're in. So those things tend to work out the best whenever you have everything into one event. Another new feature that's coming out is the updated template builder. The previous problem was you couldn't change the background once you uploaded this particular custom one. So a couple things have been fixed for this. So the frames now expand to fill the screen automatically. So it offers a template view, and it saves you the time and frustration that you would use trying to get those particular coordinates correct. So you'll upload it, your background, your overlay, and then the system will automatically find. It doesn't work entirely whenever there's like a diagonal photo or something like that, but it gets it pretty close. So you're kind of able to make those little fine-tune adjustments. So that is a nice little feature that just got added. So that's the automatic frame detection, where it'll pop in all those blank photos that you have. You also now have the ability to re-upload the backgrounds, and then that way, if you kind of have like a year or something and you need to, tweak it or whatever, you can just change the file. That's that little feature. Next, my favorite part is the event templates. So the event templates is something that I don't think a lot of people utilize enough. What you do is you have the ability to do effectively a dummy event, create it. I'm a little particular. I like things to be done a certain way. I'm a Virgo. That's just how it works. And what we do in here is go in and create things exactly as we want them. So I want the microsite to look a certain way for a glam booth, rather than I would like it to look for, a 360 or something like that reflects more of our brand. So whenever a client books like a glam booth, everything is a little subdued. It's a little more elegant. It's a little sexier. So I like all of those things to be different. For example, the buttons are, completely different than they would, a regular ring light. So what I did is I have my event templates, and this is, the top 5 things that we offer. And what's going on here is each one of these things has a blank template event, and we go into the section where you will go to. I'm actually going to share my screen so I can know what's happening. Please stop. Here we go. So what I would do is I'm going to go up here to the top right and click create an event. So for example, all of these things here are, let me see. Y'all can see my screen, right? Yes. Yes. What we'll do is we'll start a new plane event. So we'll go into a new plane event, and let's just say I'm going to do a standard AI experience, section. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and I'm going to go through the whole process of what it takes to create one of these events. So I'm just going to do blank AI template. Times and dates don't matter. And then we're going to go in here and do all the things that we would need to do. So you are sharing all these things, everyone's password, clear the data. So I'm going to go ahead and create all of these things. So for example, whenever we go back, I can say your AI photo is now ready. And then we'll go in and just, add some standard filters or whatever. So we can call it, like an AI portrait booth or whatever. I'm just going to add these, go into the template library, add a standard one. Go in and, change your app experience. So I'm just going to select this. Hide all the things. Go ahead and select your microsite, the standard one that we use. On the meta title, I'm just going to change it to AI photos. Do your AI photos. Do AI sharing. Everything's okay here. And then I'm going to create the event. So now that I've created this little blank AI template, what I'm going to do is go up here and click actions. And then I'm going to click create event template from this event. And what this allows me to do, this is actually a problem with my computer. It's going to ask for a template name and then the upload image. So that initial preview image that you saw where it said 360 photo booth, glam booth roaming, that was just one that I uploaded with all of my particular branding. So I'm going to change this to AI experience and hit create. Oops, there was an error, probably because I didn't upload a photo. But now all of those things will go ahead and appear anytime that I need to quickly add something. So if you're doing a 360 or what have you, you're setting the event up in the system, you can just click that one thing. All of your templates are already in there. All the settings are exactly as you inputted it. So I think that's really, really a great and awesome time saver. Yeah, so this little template is probably one of my favorite things. What I really enjoy. So actually, whenever we create a template, all we're doing is we're going in here and we're changing the microsite meta title name. You're actually changing the event name in the system. That way, because it will say copy of event template. And then if you have Dropbox, you're going to want to change your Dropbox file folder. And then that'll get created once the first photo is taken. So I really enjoy how this allows us to get through all events, throw them all in the system super, super quick. And then all we have to do is go in there and upload some logos, and then it's all done. So yeah, so you're going to click create event template from this event. Next is the event code login. So we ran into a situation where a longtime client asked us for a photo booth. She was in some remote location. She's like, hey, can you ship it? I said, yes, we can ship it. I go, you're just going to have to do all the things. So what we did was we sent her a unit. The iPad was locked and only had Snappic on it, or the grade label app that we had. And what we're able to do is whenever it brings you to the login section on your phone, I'm actually going to show it to you very quickly on here. Whenever it brings you to the login section on your phone, we have a little button here that says event code login. I don't know if anyone can see that. There we go. And it's going to ask for an event code and a PIN. What I don't like to do is I don't like to give clients our login information, because then they're seeing all the events that are already pre-populated in the system. They're seeing all the past events, all that stuff. So what I love to do is send them an iPad with Snappic that's not logged in, and we go ahead and give them an event code and then a login. So this is available on Enterprise Plus, which if you're doing any sort of corporate event, any sort of white label, any sort of anything like that, it's always best to have the big package, just because it's incredibly helpful. It makes your life so much easier. if actually you have any long-standing clients, if you have any permanent installations, all of those things, you can create sub accounts for them. You'll see that little sub account button right next to presets, where you can create an account for them, assign a license to them. They can run all of the things that they need to, and they don't have to go to you for stuff. I wish I had this sooner than I did. Whenever we had a lot of overseas clients, we had a client in France during COVID, and he was like, is there a way for just me to go in and upload all this stuff? Yes, there is a way now. So you just click sub accounts and you're able to create an account for someone, attach licenses to them, and then they can run it on their own. So one of the features on here is the event code login. So you're not having to give up your login information to your client. They can see everything. They can only access their one event. So you'll click manage devices, and then you'll generate code. And then we also want it to disable revoking licenses for other events. And then you're good to go. You give them the code, you give them the PIN, and then they only have access to their event. If you need to log in remotely, you can click the connect button at the top and be able to run through this stuff really quick. Super, super, super helpful. Next is AI sharing with Photobooth Uploader. I know that this is an underutilized feature that not everyone has access to, or actually everyone does have access to it. They may not necessarily know how to use it just yet. But what you're going to do is you're going to go to the resources section on your login, and you're going to click Photobooth Uploader, select the operating system that you have, and then click to download it. Photobooth Uploader is just a way for you to take photos and put them into one of your existing Snappic galleries. This is such a game changer, especially if you screw up. So there's a point in time where we had a very, very big client that gave us the wrong information, the wrong overlay. He didn't catch it, we didn't catch it, guest didn't catch it, nobody caught it. Finally, someone was like, wow, that says 2023, this is 2024. So what we were able to do is take all the raw photos, change everything, re-upload it, and then, problem solved, save the day. So what we typically do is we utilize this for headshot stations. Headshot stations are such a big thing right now, and it's kind of very necessary for you to start offering something like this. What we'll do is we'll go into creating these things, and you'll go into this. So this is what your Photobooth Uploader screen is going to look like. What we'll do is, again, with the headshot station, we're utilizing that AI facial recognition that we talked about earlier. You'll click that QR code link or what have you, where it'll ask for their phone number and then ask to take a selfie. I always just say it's best to take it like a passport style. Lately, whenever I'm explaining it to a client, it's just a reference photo, and they seem to understand that. So, let's gain you into the system, take your reference photo, and then we'll do your session. So then we'll go in, take 1 million photos of someone, go in, edit those photos, re-upload them into Photobooth Uploader. The AI will, this is also using a double credit. So you're going to have a Photobooth uploading credit. I believe the Photobooth uploading credit is, it's called a virtual upload credit. And then you'll also use an AI sharing credit whenever the system recognizes a face. So you're kind of using 2 credits, but it's well worth it considering the time that it's saving you. So what I like to do is go through the session, take all the photos, edit them, upload them up, and then the system will start recognizing people and start sending out the text messages. So like here, this lovely lady was able to get all of her photos. And then they have a nice selection, to pick from. So I definitely enjoy that. And it's something that we use on almost a daily basis. And then next is Microsite 2.0. This is something that is in the pipeline. It's not completed yet. I don't know when it's going to be completed. Please don't ask me. But it's going to allow for a whole lot more customization with this. We're going to be able to specifically place things, add different calls to action. I believe there's even some CSS capabilities in there for you to customize things a little bit more. A huge thing is setting the favicon. I love changing favicons to match the event of wherever we're at. So this is definitely on the way and much anticipated. So let's go over some questions. If anyone has any questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in the chat. Let me see if I can do this. Yes, Alan. If you could unmute yourself, I think that would help. Oops. Any plans to bring the podcast back? Not just yet. We're in talks of doing something, but whenever that happens, I will let you know. Are most of the features like headshots only for static boost? No, you can use most of these features on anything. You can use it on the 360 as well. So the facial recognition works. Like I said earlier, you can take all of these events that are or multiple photo booths that you're running at an event, so long as they're all on the same event in the system on the back end, and you're uploading the pictures of people, you're able to see they're able to see all of their photos that are in there. Couple more questions. Is the AI face match only way to send multiple pics to guests at once? There's still no way to do a multi-select on the sharing station. The multi-sharing station is a feature that's coming. So that is in the works to be fixed. I did hear a month or so until it's fixed, or until it's available. So that is most definitely forthcoming.
For the multi-select for sharing, it is expected in the coming weeks, but yeah, there is no official ETA for it at the moment.
Yes. Next is, can I customize the information that goes in the frame for every customer that utilizes the booth? For example, I'm planning on running a racing competition and they want to put their lap times on the frame. No, that is not possible just yet. So that's like data input into the system. There will come a time in the future where you'll be able to like type in a name and then that specific name will show up on a photo, but so far that's not
that's possible, but there's a good workaround because all the times are only available after the event. So if you would really like to achieve something like this, you can actually have a Photoshop or a design create the overlays with the timings and then just upload the overlays and have them all displayed.
Yeah, that's at the moment, there's no automated way to do that now, or automatic way to do it.
Yeah.
But yes. Someone asked what the social sharing photographer template was. That is something that I use for this particular application. So instead of doing roaming photos with like a roamer, we're still doing a roamer. We're just using a more professional DSLR camera. So that's it's just that same sort of the only thing that's different is the template and how we deliver them, but it's effectively the same thing. Can we use a Bluetooth trigger to trigger the camera and bypass the countdown?
Yes, you can. So what you would do is you would have a Bluetooth button, and then before you start the event, you will go to accessories and select volume buttons to use it, which will then be able to control the Bluetooth button that you have connected to the iPad. So if you want to trigger it from a Bluetooth button, I would recommend then setting the camera either to 0 or depending on the countdown, but the volume button or the Bluetooth button at that point will actually be the correct way to do it.
With Photo Booth Uploader, can I take photos from an old 360 video event and take away the filters I had on it and just send the guest the original video. Had a client who didn't like the filters the guest chose and wants to use the raw video. I don't believe that's possible. It only saves the video as it was created.
On the app, it will only say the save the video is created, but if you use the DSLR or a GoPro, you would have the raw videos on the camera itself. It won't have any slow motion, fast motion, any effects on it, but that is a raw video. So yeah.
At the moment, there is no announcement as far as how much AI credits will cost just yet.
No, unfortunately, not at the moment.
Stay tuned. Confused on face swap. I get a source image. What is the filter preview for? Also, once an image is taken, is only the source picture shows in the gallery when that will show up. So the way how face swap shows up is you can effectively upload the source photo and the filter preview. The filter preview is what the client or the guest sees whenever they're taking their photo and making their selections. So those technically can be the same things. And then once an image is taken, correct, only the source picture shows up in the gallery. The completed photo is created and then sent back down again. So
If
that
you
shows
would-
up, you know, and
Yeah, so if you would like to actually sync the AI photo, because it takes 20 seconds to a minute to generate the specific AI photo, you can, if you have time, you can exit the event, start share station, give it some time to sync all those AI photos, and then start the photo booth again if it's needed on the iPad gallery.
sure thing. Are more updates coming in for AI, like creating custom prompts for the AI? As of right now, that's not possible just yet. That could change in the future, but for right now, everything. And I think this also has to be, this is a legal thing a little bit too, because we, you know, can't be creating logos and stuff and just give everyone completely free reign. But at the moment, no, that's not possible.
But in case
that's a big question that I get.
Yeah, it's a great question though, but in case you would need something custom, please send us a message on the live support chat. We are collecting feedback on whatever our users are needing at that point, and then the team will be adding new generated images. But for custom ones, we are still working out on how that will work in the future.
Sure. Where can you get AI generated images? So this is where things get a little fuzzy. Currently, Midjourney, Dolly, all of those options are available for you to create these images. However, there is a little bit of a gray area when it comes to us technically selling those images. But those are a way for those things to be created. I think that there's still a couple more.
Are we able to use AI background removal to create a mask? Example, I want overlay graphic to be cut inside of the background. Unfortunately, that's not possible. You would need to implement the background as full removal. And you can't just upload a transparent PNG image because that's a little too complicated for photos at the moment. But video effects can do that.
What program do you use for creating the AI segmentation? So the AI segmentation is done in video effects. Now, the file that you create for that video effect can effectively be done anywhere. You could use InShot, you could use Blender, you could use Canva. Zentek has an option as well. All those things are possible, and you can just pop them in there. So it's just playing with it and figuring out what effect that you're trying to go for.
So is there a resource for AI segmentation for 360 to create similar background effect to the sample we saw at the PBX? So the way that the sample that was shown at PBX is actually done inside of Blender. You would need a 3D designer, 3D animator to do that if you don't know how to use Blender. But what happens is you would create a 360 environment, you would put a long panoramic circle, you would put a camera inside of that circle, and then you would export a video from that camera spinning inside. And then you would use that to upload to Snappic.
I know this really isn't related topics you're discussing today, but other than video templates that are available, are there template ideas somewhere for glam and roamer events? or am I overthinking it? And these are created from trial and error, what works best for us. Um, think you're kind of overthinking it a little bit because Glam and Roma are super simple. I don't think that there's a need to overcomplicate it. I think that whenever a client is booking those specific things, they're expecting those things and that's it. But I don't really think that's necessary. But I will say this, you most definitely can change, a start screen or anything or a microsite or anything that is guest facing that could be customized to them. I think that they always appreciate that. One of the things that I always do is whenever we're running a 360 event, even though if let's say we're using a GoPro and an iPhone, I always make sure that that iPhone that's running the software, or if we're doing an iPad or what have you, that it has a logo because the client is still seeing it, the guest is still seeing it. So I don't necessarily want our logo or something else like that. But yeah, but thank you so much, everyone. Wonderful questions. I really appreciate it. Just a couple of more things. We are doing a photo booth live March 17th in Dallas, Texas. We're actually offering a digital version, so you can purchase the digital replay as well, and that is on the website now. I hope I can see more people in Dallas. We're going over more headshot stuff, how to edit these things and upload them into the system, and getting things super fine tuned. Kelly Haney is going over dynamic pricing, and we got a whole bunch more stuff going on. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's 10 days from now in Dallas. And then lastly, we are doing a little texting thread. So if you want to text Ryan or scan that QR code, you can text Ryan to 833-209-9555. I started this at PBX and I was asking for feedback. I was asking what everyone thought about PBX. This was the year of the Glambot. Everyone wanted to know, what was going on with the photo booth manufacturers that were selling the Glambots. Do those things connect with Snappic? I asked a whole bunch of questions to everyone. People texted back. Yes, I do read everything. I might not respond to everyone, but I definitely do see all the feedback every morning. It's such a cool thing because I was able to take this feedback to some of the manufacturers and say, these are the things that people are talking about. And I think that's a great disconnect between the consumer and the manufacturer. And I'm kind of happy that I get to be able to facilitate those conversations. I'm texting people every now and then, maybe, once or twice a week. The other day we just did, a little tip. Let me know how these things work out for you. I'm going to be also text me what you want to hear from me. If you want more specific things on how to do particular effects, or if there's certain sales things you want, or any of those things, I'm happy to keep the conversation going. It's been really fun to be able to see the feedback in real time. So text me today what you thought of today's little snap session, and tell me what you want to hear for next time, because y'all are the ones that kind of determine what we do next. But yes, that is, so Photo Booth Live is going to be available at photoboothlive.co. And that is on the website now. Also, I do have my regular website, ryansalinas.com. If anyone wants to put in their information in there, there's an email list where we'll be able to get out some of this stuff. I typically will mail out the email list before things are announced. So most definitely, if you want things ahead of time and before everyone else, go ahead and scan that little QR code and sign up. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Especially in this situation where we don't really get to have longer conversations about this stuff. I am so thankful that you joined us today. I'm going to hang on for a little bit. But other than that, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thunderous applause. Go ahead. You have to unmute. Yes, it's ryansalinas.com. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat. When am I coming back to Miami? Hopefully soon. We will see. Probably not for Photo Booth Live though. Oh man. Oh my God, people are subscribing. Thank you so much. So I get all the text messages to my phone. I really appreciate that.
Thank you too, guys. So if nobody has any questions, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for this live session. And we will see you soon on the Snappic support.